Friday on an all-new Dr. Phil.
You're a mother doing heroin with her son. Who gives it to her every day?
Me.
So you're a drug dealer living with mommy. Do you think heroin alters your mind?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Are you kidding me?
If my mom doesn't stop, my kids and I are out of her life.
If she doesn't pull those kids out of your life, trust me, you're looking at the guy who will. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, Eric and Kathy are a mother and son who live in the same house and share everything. Bills, meals, to the details of their day. But another thing they share is a dark secret they've been keeping from everyone. So what is it that this mother and son share? What is it that they bond over? Well, it's an addiction to heroin. Now, Kathy's daughter Stephanie just found out about her mom's problem a week before the show and is furious that she had been letting her mom babysit her little girls. Stephanie still has no idea the extent of her mom's addiction. She thinks Kathy has just recently tried it and uses sometimes. But in reality, Kathy's habit isn't new and has gotten so bad she wants it daily and is constantly harassing her son to get her fix. So what kind of son gives his mother heroin? Well, another addict, of course. In fact, Eric told us he would only travel here by bus so he could bring his drugs with him. So we're talking not an airplane flight, instead days on a bus so he could bring the drugs. Take a look.
I'm about to leave on a bus headed for LA, so I have to hide my mother's heroin. I'm just gonna hide it in this purse down here. The reason why I'm taking a bus rather than flying is I thought it would be safer trying to transfer my heroin. I brought about 30 grams with me. My mother and I have a very weird, codependent, completely abnormal relationship. As long as I've known her, I've always known that my mother was an addict. She acts more like a friend towards me than my mother. This isn't normal. I'm not stupid, you know. This is about as far dysfunctional as it gets. I've been living with my mother for about 6 months. My mom found out that I was using heroin. At first, she was very angry about it. I sensed that the anger was more curiosity. I went into her room. I said, "Are you so pissed because you want to try it?" And she was like, "Well, maybe just a little." I almost feel like it was that day and then every day since. From there, I was basically supplying her heroin. I feel guilty about introducing heroin into my mother's life. But first thing my mother does when she wakes up in the morning is start begging me for heroin. She text messages me pretty much every half hour until I respond. My mother plays the victim card on me big time, saying I like to see her sick. That's basically the same routine every time.
I was wondering if you were going to come down, bring anything down.
I hate everything about it. You wouldn't want to introduce this to your worst enemy, let alone your mother.
What the hell is going on here? What the hell are you thinking?
It's a tough situation.
So you go out and get yourself addicted to heroin.
Yeah.
And you decide, okay, I think I'll take this home and start giving it to my mother.
That's not exactly how it happened.
But who introduced your mother to heroin?
Me.
Who gives it to her every day?
Me.
Who's her dealer?
Me.
So what is it I'm missing?
No, I guess you're right.
I mean, if we're going to talk about it, let's at least talk about it honestly. Well, Eric's mom, Kathy, blames Eric for introducing her to heroin. I mean, she says it's his fault. Of course, she blames everything on everybody. She's embarrassed by her addiction and has kept it a secret from everyone until just recently. Take a look.
I do think it's abnormal for a mother and son to be into heroin addiction since he was a kid. We've always been kind of close. I found out Eric was using heroin. I tried it and I'm crying because, you know, I'm kind of embarrassed that I did like it. I started off once in a while and then all of a sudden it'd be nice if I had some today. So Eric became my supplier. I snort 5 or 6 lines per day now. Gets me through the day. I didn't know if you could give me a little bit. I'm not feeling that good right now.
Oh,
My bones are aching and
yeah, I'm
I get paid on
gonna give it to you this time.
When I would bug him for the drugs, he'd really yell at me and treat me almost like a kid. I'm supposed to be the mother. There's something wrong here. I'm here on the show to help Eric. And now I feel he's gonna die. He wants to move out, and when he goes, the drugs go with him. And it's a hard thing to deal with. How the hell did I get to this point?
So how did you get to this point, Mom?
Oxycontin, pain pills. From there on, then I heard, even before I even thought of heroin or anything like that, it was well known that if you take the pain pills, that people are switching over to heroin. It's cheaper, it's more readily available, and when he introduced it, I just tried it and happened to like it. I was wrong, but I was prescribed painkillers at one time. You know, I just took it to the limit.
So you're basically here to defend it and justify it.
No, I'm not.
Would you want me to play back what you've just said?
No, I'm
You're
just
here
saying
justifying it and defending it. So what you've done so far.
Yeah, okay. If you want to put it that way.
She has a habit of that.
Well, you just said what he just said. Well, if you want to put it that way, look, there aren't versions of the truth.
Well, I didn't.
The truth is what it is. There aren't versions of the truth.
I know, but I'm saying, I didn't say I want to go do heroin. It gradually turned into that from the pain medication. Doesn't make sense to you?
Oh, hell no.
Doesn't make sense to anybody.
Oh, hell no, it doesn't make sense to me. Are you serious?
No.
You're a mother doing heroin with her son. Does that make sense to me?
It does not.
No, it's ridiculous. It's disgusting. You're doing heroin with your child. That's a ridiculous excuse for a parent.
I'll be the first to admit it.
Well, thank you. That's a start. What the hell's the matter with you?
I don't know. That's what I want to find out.
Well, you say it's not the worst drug. What would be the worst drug?
I didn't think it was as bad as some people put it, if you're not shooting it up.
Oh. So
To me,
if
it
you're
doesn't
not
have the
shooting
same
it up.
effect. I've never shot up, but I've seen people on it that shoot up, and they're pretty out of it.
So you're just snorting it.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's a lesser evil.
In my eyes, yeah.
In your eyes. You inject it.
I do. Just recently.
What are you spending on heroin a month?
Probably upwards of 15, 20,000.
15, 20 grand a month. Where the hell are you getting that much money?
Just from hustling, basically.
Meaning you're a dealer.
In a sense.
You buy in bulk, you sell the excess.
In a
So
sense,
you're
yes.
dealing drugs.
Basically, yeah. To supply my habit.
And your mother's habit.
Yeah.
So he's dealing to cover your drugs.
Do drugs with their kid. Your job is to protect your kid and to steer them into the right path, not go down the wrong one with them.
And later,
Just because other people do it doesn't mean it's right.
It's always hammering on me, you know?
Because you're my mother. You're the one that's picking up my kids.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. A mom enraged
What's wrong with you? Get out of my face!
by a daughter who stole from her.
you're forging checks.
I did ask for some money to get things that I
You
needed.
didn't ask for money, you extorted money.
You won't believe what it took
Did you make your flight?
Oh, not the first one.
to get her to the show.
I'd get a security guard to stay with you. You run away from security.
That's tomorrow.
This fall, The Big Bang Theory moves to Mondays with a brand new season.
For our nation, for each other, for us all. The few, the proud, the Marines.
Call the WENY HD weather phone for your forecast. 739-8600.
I've spent up to $30,000 a month on heroin. I get the money basically from hustling. When I say hustling, I'm saying that I buy in bulk and sell some off so that I can offset my costs. I know that I'm basically dealing drugs. I'm not stupid, but I'm doing it to support my habit. I give my mother heroin in order to feed her habit. It's not like I'm doing it to become rich, because that sure ain't happening.
Well, Eric and his mother I'm putting that in quotes, mother, Kathy, admit they have a very dysfunctional mother-son relationship. Kathy says she depends on Eric for her daily fix of heroin. Her daughter Stephanie says Kathy and Eric have always been unusually close and secretive about their addictions.
I recently found out that my mom is doing heroin with my brother. I'm disgusted with the entire situation. I would have never guessed that she would be into heroin. The worst drug there is, the lowest of the low. A junkie on the street, homeless. That's exactly what I think of. The relationship between my mom and my brother is more like brother and sister. Neither of them are the parent in the situation. They both feed off of each other and have a codependency on each other. I don't get it. Them using drugs together disgusts me. I don't think it's ever a parent's job to do drugs with their kid. Your job is to protect your kid and to steer them into the right path, not go down the wrong one with them. My mom is an alcoholic, and she has always been. She always has excuses. I will say something about drinking. She'll say, oh, well, you know, this one drinks and that person drinks. She said, well, you know, so-and-so used to smoke pot with their kid. Very different circumstance. She always has to bring somebody down with her. If she doesn't stop drinking and doing heroin, my kids and I are out of her life.
Okay, Stephanie, I'm appalled at this. You must, because you have so much more invested, you must be beyond disgusted.
I am completely disgusted.
Have you discussed this with the two of them?
Well, I've just recently found out about the drugs so much, but I've been, with my mom. I've been telling my mom since I can remember that I want her to stop drinking.
Right, she's an
and I need her to
alcoholic
stop
bad,
drinking.
right?
Yes.
You're using heroin, you're snorting heroin, then getting in your car and driving, correct?
To work.
So you do it before you go to work.
Yeah.
So you're working under the influence of drugs. You're operating a motor vehicle on public roads under the influence of drugs.
Yeah.
Okay, explain to me, what gives you the right to do that?
I don't have the right to do that.
Well, you're claiming the right to do it because you're doing it.
Well, I think because you do it, you're not claiming it. It's something that I do. I did. I don't know. I don't understand. I don't have the right to do it.
But you do
But
do
by,
it every day.
by me doing it, that says that I say I have the right to do it. Maybe I'm not thinking of, I don't
But it's not so much
understand.
about you, it's about other people. The other people on the road or hurting yourself or somebody else. That's like the biggest
I
thing.
understand that. I
Every time you
watch
get in
the
the
show
car,
all
you got to bring a
time. I
drink
know
with
you-
you.
I know,
Like who does
but-
that? Who brings a drink with them everywhere they go?
You get under the influence. Do you think heroin alters your mind?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit.
But I mean, not like this. You know what I mean?
Oh, hell, you're like that now.
I'm like that now.
Yeah, you're not making sense now. You're not reasoning like a normal thinker when you're justifying using heroin with your son, which tells me you're not reasoning well. Something has impaired your cognitive efficiency. You're not reasoning well. You're justifying using heroin with your son. We haven't even talked about your responsibility as a parent.
He's 32 years old.
Oh,
That's never
mind.
Well, no, don't you think I tried when I was younger to not have him?
I
put
don't
him
know
in.
what to think. What do you think about this?
I don't think at any age it's okay. Okay, well he's 32. Let's go ahead and do drugs. He's old enough. Yes, he made his own decisions, and that's on him, and he owns that. But it's never a parent's job to go down the path with them.
No.
It's a parent's job to say, no, that's not right. Let me help you.
That's the first time that's occurred to you when she said that?
No,
You just
of
said
course
okay,
not.
like, well, okay. I mean, since you put it
No,
that
of
way.
course it's not, Dr. Phil. You don't think this goes through my mind every day?
I don't know what to think because you're doing heroin with your son. Are you kidding me? What the hell are you thinking? You're an adult. You are a young man. What are you thinking?
I'm not thinking.
Oh, Kathy has a list of excuses for using heroin. We're going to hear what they are when we come back. What mother turns her children over to a heroin addict?
No, Mother.
I don't know what to say. I can't defend myself.
And later, she a drug dealer living with Mommy. How the hell did you turn out so well? This Christmas is the 20-year anniversary.
6-year-old JonBenet Ramsey was found murdered in her home. The killer has never been found.
Some people have speculated that you've been hiding out for this last 20 years. What do you say to that? Do you remember the last time you saw JonBenet alive?
Get the latest health news and medical news with your Family Health Report on WENY News. Brought to you by Corning Appliance Corp.
Here and those connections and those roots that I have here, I think give me a unique perspective and unique understanding about what is important to this community. This is home.
Stephanie's very judgmental of me. I'm sure she's embarrassed, ashamed. I always tell Stephanie, no, it's not normal, but I know people that smoke pot with their kids. And she hates it when I say that. But it's true. Don't single me out. Stephanie doesn't want her kids around me. I don't do heroin around them. I don't want her to take the kids away from me.
Well, Eric and his mother, Kathy, have been keeping their addiction to heroin a secret from the rest of the family. Stephanie is disgusted with both her brother and her mom. Kathy gave us an intimate look into what she does to get high. You need to look at this.
Who is it?
Here's that for you. It's not really like crushed up or anything, but you can do what you want with it.
It doesn't, I don't think it gives like a rush, just makes you feel, calmer, You think that people don't know, you think that they can't tell, and they can. I don't know how many people this past year have said that I'm kind of different, and I am kind of different.
No, you're doing heroin. It's different.
It's a vicious cycle,
I regret bringing this into my lives, into her life especially.
There's no one to blame but myself. I'm very uncomfortable in my own skin. I don't like myself. A lot of regrets.
How old are your children?
4 and 8.
Is there any way you would allow your 4-year-old and your 8-year-old to be with her?
Absolutely not.
What mother turns her children over to a heroin addict?
No, Mother. No right person in the right mind would ever do such a thing.
That's your choice, not hers. I mean, she.
I know. I own it. I own it.
You're an alcoholic, right?
Yes, I am.
And now you're mixing drugs and alcohol. Do you understand the toxic nature of that combination?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, I know as far as drinking, I've had problems with that. I have problems with depression. I have health problems.
But do you understand the toxic, interactive nature of heroin and alcohol?
I don't.
So you would be okay with killing yourself over this, so what, me and the kids will deal with it afterwards? That would be fine for you, because you enjoyed yourself, and then I have to explain to my kids?
That's why I'm here, Stephanie. If I didn't want to
Eric
find
and I
out...
weren't enough? We weren't enough of a reason to stop?
We never have been.
I don't know what to say. I can't defend myself because I know what's wrong. There's not an excuse in the world that I can come up with for this.
No.
Which is completely
So what do I
different, 'cause
say
if we were
about
at home,
it?
you would be coming up with every excuse under the sun.
Yeah, to
All of a
you,
sudden,
but there's, I'm...
We're here, there's no excuse,
Oh, you do make excuses. By the way, you didn't come here. You said you came here for him.
I did.
Not for you, for him. So don't change your story now, lady.
No, we were asking
You came
about
here for him.
I did come here for him.
Yeah, here are your excuses. It makes her want to work. You can drive, not slurring words, not falling over. Not many people on the streets at night. Helps with body aches. Knows parents who smoke pot with their kids. This is your logic. This is how you justify this, right?
Just because other people do it doesn't mean it's right. That's like simple logic that you teach young children.
I know that, but every time, it's always hammering on me,
Because you're my mother. You're the one that's picking up my kids and watching them till I get out of work.
And I wasn't doing heroin all my life.
But you were always drinking. And what's my rule when you have my children? Don't drink. But the second I walk through that door, you're already got your cup in hand, ready to go.
I followed your rules.
Okay, but I have to give you advance notice. Heaven forbid there's an emergency where you would have to pick them up.
I understand all that, Stephanie. What do you want me to do? It's done already. Okay. I'm looking to move forward.
I understand, but these are my kids. And they love you and they look up to you and they like to have fun with you. But I can't.
And at one time,
I can't give them to you all
At one time, so did you.
Yeah. And then I grew up. I've even said I didn't even know I had an abnormal childhood until I grew up and realized that wasn't normal. It's not okay. Those things are not okay to do in front of your children.
Next, we're going to talk about how Kathy badgers Eric for drugs until he gives in. We haven't even talked about him yet. How old are you?
32.
You're living with mommy, sharing drugs. Don't you think it's time to grow up?
Wednesday on an all-new Dr. Phil.
The media has dubbed him the frat boy cannibal killer.
Accused of a savage attack and double murder.
The report is he's tearing pieces of his face with his teeth, growling like an animal.
The boy's father speaks out.
I grabbed it and I said, "What is wrong with you?" And he reared back.
Behind the horrific headlines.
He was saying he had superpowers. He grabbed a bottle of Wesson and was going to drink it.
That's Wednesday.
Closed captioning provided by...
At Stouffer's, it's what's on the inside that counts. That's why our lasagna is made with high-quality ingredients you would use at home. Like freshly made pasta, real mozzarella, and no preservatives. Just a delicious meal the way you'd make it. Stouffer's.
My mother takes her heroin right before work, every day. She basically drives around high.
I don't see any real impairment just doing a line or two in driving. I don't think it's that bad. Drinking and driving is much worse. I don't think I put people in jeopardy.
It really is a miracle that she hasn't been in an accident or caused harm to innocent people, because she does this every day.
Eric and his mom, Kathy, say their addiction to heroin has escalated within the last several months. You say that you have moved out before to get away.
I have.
But she guilt-induces you to come back?
Not so much guilt induces me as, the situation presents itself and then I end up back there, and as soon as I do, it's game on again, basically.
I don't know what to tell you, because these people are full of That's the bottom line. I have guests that come on here and they're dead serious. They're dead set. They look me in the eye. Mm-hmm. They own it. Mm-hmm. They're straight up. Then I have guests that come on here and they tell you one thing when you're interviewing them ahead of time, and then they get out here and backpedal.
Mm-hmm.
And these are backpedalers.
Yes. I don't see how I backpedal.
They're backpedalers.
Yeah.
Like I just asked Eric, she guilt-induces you to come back? Well, not so much guilt-induces. In his interview, I have him saying, she guilts me into coming back. She guilts me. That's his term, guilts me. I don't know what to do. I mean, when somebody tells you specifically out of their own mouth, which is clinically important to me to understand the dynamic between the two, and then when I ask him about it, he says, well, not so much.
To understand the dynamic of the two is a brother and a sister. They have no mother-son relationship.
But you understand,
I'm the mom
I have a hard time
of my
helping
2 children.
people that tell you one thing one day and something else the next. I don't get it.
But I don't think he thought you meant I guilt-induced him to come back to live with me. I didn't. But do I guilt to get, the drugs? Yes.
Well, here are some text messages from Kathy to Eric. This is what she's talking about, guilt-inducing with the drugs. Kathy, so where did you hide them? This is at 2 p.m. Kathy, where did you go? 7:28 p.m. Kathy, I want to get a pizza, I guess, at 7:34. Kathy, hey, I told you I'm probably going to need a little for work because all of this Dr. Phil but it seems you're sleeping, 12:13 a.m. So you're taking this real serious, all this Dr. Phil, right?
No.
Okay, yeah. Thank you for the respect. I appreciate that.
I didn't mean it personally.
Oh, no. That's why it's my name in the sentence. You didn't mean it personally. Kathy, can you get back to me? 12:14 a.m. Kathy, yeah, I saved a tiny bit, but do you have a little for work? 12:28 a.m. Kathy, yeah, I saved a tiny bit, but do you have a little for work? 12:29. Kathy, yeah, I saved a tiny bit, but do you have a little for work? Kathy, yeah, I saved a little bit, but do you have a little for work? Kathy, I know you told me to save some, but it's hard. Kathy, you going to leave me something for work or what? Kathy, you just love it that you can hold that over my head. You love it that I got to my job feeling crappy or whatever. I hope it makes you very happy because everything I say, something you don't like, you immediately hold that over my head. You know how I feel about that over, and you said the same thing, but I won't worry about Dr. Phil. You'll be dead by then. Kathy, don't forget to leave that for me. Eric, I won't. Kathy, next day. Kathy, did you leave anything in here?
It's disgusting.
That's just a little snapshot of this sick interaction. Man, you need to grow a pair and get out on your own. Stand up, be a man. What are you doing? How old are you?
32.
Living with mommy, sharing drugs. Don't you think it's time to grow up?
I do.
Do you have a job?
I'm a carpenter by trade, but I haven't really been working recently.
So that's a no.
No. Right.
You just do drugs.
Most recently.
And hang at the house and deal.
Basically.
She a drug dealer living with mommy. How the hell did you turn out so well?
I think she took the wrong baby home from the hospital. I really have joked about that for a long time. I don't know. A lot of times I really feel like the outcast.
Okay, we're going to take a break. Why Stephanie says her mom has always favored her brother and blames them both for their addictions.
Tomorrow on an all-new Dr. Phil. A mom enraged
What's wrong with you?
by a daughter who stole from her.
You're forging checks.
I did ask for money to get things that I needed.
You didn't ask, you extorted money.
That's tomorrow.
Closed captioning provided by
Let's in Johnson City, Elmira, and Ithaca. You'll love doing business with us.
Kathy and her son Eric admit their addiction to heroin has made them closer than ever. Great. Stephanie says her mom has always favored her brother, and this is just disgusting. Stephanie blames both Kathy and Eric for enabling each other. You're exactly right. Eric, why are you here? What do you want?
I need some type of change. I can't do this anymore. You know, I really can't.
Yeah.
She knows how much I hate giving her that every day. Like, she knows it.
Eric at least wants help. He
So
at least
why
wants to
do you
change,
live
know?
with your mother?
The situation just kind of presented itself, and it was the easiest option at the time, you know. I was wrapped up in my addiction. It's
Oh, but you're a dealer. I mean, you've shown that you can deal drugs and make a profit, so you can afford to live somewhere. Why not? Why are you there? Why are you living with your mother?
because, I mean, my addiction, I can't afford to live out on my own. I can barely afford my addiction, honestly. You have to sell quite a bit to be able to pay for both. I mean, do I want to live with her? No. No, I mean, I couldn't.
No. What? God, did I wake up in some parallel universe? What do you mean it's not what you want to do? It is what you want to do because it's what you're doing. You choose to live with your mother, right?
Yeah.
You choose to do drugs with your mother and live with your mother. That's your choice. Did somebody put a gun to your head and say, move in with your mother and share heroin, or they're going to pull the trigger? Or did you choose to do that?
I chose to do that.
So what's the problem with owning that? I don't get you two. What are you, both victims of the universe or something? What the hell's wrong with you? Hell, own it. You choose to live with your mother.
You're right.
And you choose to do drugs with your son because that's easier than standing up and being an adult and doing what you got to do to get yourself clean. These are choices, folks. You just make them.
I understand that. I think I'm owning up now. It's not funny. I think I'm owning up now.
No, let me tell you, it ain't funny at all.
No, it's not.
It's disgusting. So you chose alcohol over your children. You're choosing heroin over your grandchildren. It's like you've got your grandchildren here, and you got a pile of crushed up heroin here. You say, grandchildren, heroin. Bye-bye. And you choose the heroin. This is the owning up part, right?
Okay.
You're telling me how you're owning up.
Yes, I am.
So that's your choice.
Yep.
Bye-bye, kids. Because let me tell you, it's bye-bye. Because if she doesn't pull those kids out of your life, trust me, you're looking at the guy who will. I'm a mandated reporter. You are an alcohol drug addict. No way you are fit to have those children under your supervision. Ain't happening, no how, no way. You turn them over to her, then you're not a fit mother.
I agree.
Talk about the drug world being dark and ugly. You just saw dark and ugly. Bye-bye, kids.
And it's time to stop this vicious cycle. I want to start. I wasn't always the worst mother in the world, you know. Yes, I was an alcoholic. But I put a roof over their head. And I fed them and I clothed them.
Yeah, I grew up with an alcoholic, had a roof over my head. So don't give me that about how you put a roof over their head so everything else was okay.
But you also said you were homeless too when you were younger.
That's right.
Not every situation is the
He would
same.
be homeless. He doesn't choose.
Yeah,
that.
you know what? I'd rather be healthy alone than sick with somebody else. Ed says his mom told him every day she would stop drinking. What makes today any different? They're not even close to convincing me they're worth my time and resource. I'm going to give them a chance to tell me why I should when we come back.
Well, I want help from him because, like I said, he's going to be dead if he keeps this up.
But what about
You need help.
This is Lulu, our newest dog.
Mom didn't want another dog. She says it's too much work.
Lulu's hair just floats. Oh, help me!
Mom, check this out.
Wow. So for
CBS.
Well, I'm back with Eric, his mother Kathy, and his sister Stephanie. Why should I spend my time, energy, effort, and resources on the two of you? Convince me.
I want better for myself, I really do. Like, I want to move past all of this. I want to become a man, you know. I want to move past all this. I don't want to be a heroin addict for the rest of my life.
What about you?
Well, I want help from him because, like I said, he's going to be dead if he keeps this up. He's dying.
But what about
You need help.
And I need help too. I know that, but I'm talking. We're here as a team, not as a team, but you know, enabling each other. I need help as much as anybody else. I've been an alcoholic all my life. Did I drink every day all my life? No, I haven't. I worked hard. I worked for a job for 36 years, and I put maybe it's not the perfect home these kids were in, but I don't think it was that bad. I want my grandchildren.
This is you convincing me.
I don't know. I don't know if you don't believe me or not. I want my grandchildren in my life. I want my daughter in my life. I want my son to get better. I want a chance at a halfway normal life that I never had. I'm just tired of this whole mess. I'm tired of this relationship, how it's turned out to be. And, you know, he feels bad because he gives it to me. I feel bad because I ask him and I badger him. That's not something a mother does. I know that. And I just don't think it's funny the way people You know, we're laughing and like this is a laughing matter. It is not a laughing matter.
They're not
They're
laughing
at the absurdity of what you're saying. They're not laughing because it's ha-ha funny. They're laughing at the absurdity of what you offer as evidence that you are ready to make a change.
What's absurd about that?
What's absurd about it is I say,
That I want
convince
a
me
better life?
that you are ready, and you start giving me justifications for why you are doing drugs. You're giving me justifications for why he needs help and not saying doodly squat about you. That's why they're exasperatingly throwing their hands up, and it's coming across as laughter. That's why they're responding the way they are, at the absurdity of you not yet getting it. We'll be right back.
We're identical twins. We're both anorexics and bulimic.
You get out here and you say, we want money for all of this. I told the producers to send you home. I can't help your girls if you get in the way. The best gift you can give your daughters
is get them the hell out of her house.
You're encouraging your kids to run away?
No, you guys didn't play the evidence. That's bull.
Put the damn thing up. I'm calling bull on your bull.
My daughter is out of control. 13 years old, extremely provocative.
Danielle vanished with the keys to my crew member's car.
She had a knife. Would you want me to stab you?
You're such a actress.
Hey, watch your mouth. She's 74 years old.
I don't care if she was 90.
Missing for 6 years.
Kyron's stepmother was the last known person to see the second grader.
I believe that Terry Horman knows where Kyron is.
Now,
you lied to the media.
Yes, because I was told to.
The exclusive interview.
Tell me why it's taken this long for you to speak out about this. Closed caption.
For a live studio taping of one of the first shows of the new season.
The tickets are free. Go to drphil.com and click on Be in the Audience. Whether she makes a change or whether she doesn't, you are not here as a team.
Oh, I know that.
You are here for you. You have to be willing to man up and do what you have to do to get yourself straight.
I understand that.
And if I send you somewhere to do that, and I get so much as a one-line email that says, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you're whining about this or whining about that, I will yank your ass out of there before God gets the news and give you a bus ticket to hell. You to a dual diagnosis treatment center called Origins. And this is down on South Padre Island in Texas. This is a...
I'm ready for that.
So how about you?
What about me?
Do you want to do this?
I'm tired.
Do you want to do this right one time in your life? Because I'm telling you, if you do this, you go from here to there. You go from this stage to a treatment center in West Palm Beach, Florida. It's called the Hanley Center. It's part of Origins. And they're going to deal with all the issues specific to you. It's a very customized program that they designed for you. This is a life-changing commitment. These people at the Origins Behavioral Centers, these folks design custom programs, and you got a lot of customization to be done.
I know. But it's got to be done.
I hope you do the right thing.
I will do the right thing.
That's all I can do.
I appreciate it.
We'll see.
It's my last
We'll
chance.
see what they do. I want to thank my guests today. If you're caught in a family drama and you want my advice, you'll get it. Go to drphil.com and tell me about it. One thing I strongly believe is people come here and put it on the table. They deserve to know what I truly think and not have to guess where I stand when it's over. I will tell you what I think, and if you don't agree with me, fine. Go home, do what you want to do, but I will tell you what I think, and I do my homework before you get here. I read every word you say to everybody you talk to. We'll see you next time.